Welcome along to this week's Ball Sports Bet Zone with me, Nigel Seeley. The football season may be over. We have one more final game, and what a big one we have. It's the Champions League final. Which team will win the treble? We'll find out. We're going to find out some more information. What's going to be the correct score? Who's going to be the first goal scorer? You can find all the information here at the Bet Zone. I'm delighted to say joining me to make his debut on the Bet Zone, we've brought out the big guns for the big game. It's European football journalist, Mr. Andy Brassell. Andy, how are you, sir?
Yeah, very good. You?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I mean, this is the final I wanted, you know. I wanted this final because I thought if any of the teams could turn over Barcelona, Juve could be it. But everyone's saying it should be El Clasico, and we're not going to have the final we wanted. But I think this could be a belter.
Oh, we've seen that a million times before. Come on, you know, Juventus in the final for the first time in 12 years. You saw at the final whistle how much it meant at the Bernabeu, how much it meant to Gianluigi Buffon, who of course has been through it all. You know, they've been into Serie B and all the rest of it. But Juventus, they're a team that's used to winning, and they've shown they know how to do knockout ties. If you look at the ties against Borussia Dortmund, Monaco, Real Madrid, you know, those are three big teams to knock over. They're not sitting ducks by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, not that I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I look at this final, it reminds me of when Mourinho won it under Inter Milan. They're going to make themselves very hard to beat against the Barcelona. So we all know attacking-wise they're great. But on one-off games, the best teams don't always win, do they?
Yeah, and you know what? I think Barcelona are extremely strong physically. People forget that, you know, because they're good on the ball. But, you know, not in the sense of muscling people out of it, but in the sense that they can keep going, they can keep running. And that is where Juventus can stay with them. There are very few sides that physically, fitness-wise, can stay with Barcelona. Juventus are always stronger in the last 20 minutes, and that's why I think we're looking at a tight game over the 90 minutes and maybe extra time.
Well, let's have a look at the odds. These are the odds from Ball Sports here, and no surprise to see Barcelona as the overwhelming favourites. Probably a little bit short for my liking at 8-13. Remember, this is 90 minutes only. 5-1 you can get about Juventus, and 16-5 you can get for a draw. You think it'd be tight? I mean, the draw looks a bit of value there at 16-5.
Yeah, I'm all over the draw for this. I think that these are two exceptionally physically fit sides who could keep it going for the whole 120. I think maybe Barcelona to edge it, but maybe 1-1 full time, 2-1 extra time. I think the draw looks an exceptional bet.
Yeah, we'll see a draw 16-5. Obviously, Juventus here at 5-1. But how impressed have you been with a couple of certainly players? We look at some correct score markets and the first goal scoring minutes. But Carlos Tevez, I mean, he's gone over there. He's done a tremendous job for Juventus. He's playing the best football of his career. Messi gets all the headlines. Suarez are rightly so. But Carlos Tevez is going to be a big threat in this game as well.
Yeah, you know what? Everyone talks about Messi and Cristiano as the best two players in the world, and quite rightly so. But it always perplexes me when you have a conversation about the 5 or 10 best players in the world. Carlos Tevez is never in it, which is ridiculous. You know, he is a guy who's driven Juventus, who's given them a completely new dimension in the 2 seasons that he's been there. And the interesting thing as well is when he fires, Juventus fire. You look at the goals he scored this season, and of course he hadn't scored a Champions League goal in nearly 6 years before the start of this season, going back to when he played for Manchester United. He scored 7 Champions League goals this year, and that's 44% of what Juventus have done overall. So if they're going to do anything, he's got to get on the score sheet, and I think he's got a decent chance of doing that.
Let's have a look at some correct score markets. Sorry, first goal scorer markets. Lionel Messi is the favourite 11-4. Obviously, whenever he plays, you know, it's a short price 11-4, but usually when they're playing domestically, he's around about a 5-4 shot. So 11-4 will tempt some in. Luis Suarez is the 130 second favourite. Neymar, that fabulous 3, is the front 3. But Tevez in there at 7-1 scored the first goal. Probably, I don't know what price he used to score any time, but any time's probably a decent bet as well.
Yeah, 13-5 any time, which I think is really good, and one to look at from left field. I think is I think it's got to be Arturo Vidal, because he takes the pens as well. He's playing slightly more withdrawn role in midfield. He likes to get forward and get into the penalty box. But you know, if he's going to take the penalties, I think you're looking at him to score. I think it's 9-2 any time. Check that out. I think that's got to be an interesting one.
I'm sure sentimental people will be making Xavi to score at any time as well, score the first goal if he features in this game.
Well, maybe the last goal scorer if you're going to get him on. If they're winning heavily, but that's going to be it, because the fact is Ivan Rakitic is their best midfielder now, and him and Xavi don't work together. So if you're assuming it's going right for Barcelona, Xavi's just going to be waving from the sidelines.
Nice way to end. It was a bit like me, my final game of the season, when all them women started kind of giving me a kiss. Very like me when I hung my boots up at Worcester Park, second 11 all them years ago. All the girls down at Renwas, they remember that one. Let's have a look at some offers that Ball Sports are doing this. I'm bet up to £50 or €50 on the Champions League final, and you get a free bet up to £25 or £25 in play. So you have a bet on the Champions League final, you've got a free in-play bet as well, which is a fantastic offer. What other markets caught your eye, Andy? Have you you've looking around there? What kind of games do you envisage? Do you think this is big goals? Do you think this will be attacking or what?
I think it'll be both teams to score. You can't see Barcelona not scoring in the 90. I think that's absolutely impossible. But as I said, I think Juventus can go every step of the way. So I think you're looking at fairly generous odds when you're looking at both teams to score and a draw after 90 minutes. That could even accentuate your draw bets. I think it's about 17-4 from memory, but worth checking. It'll obviously change before kickoff. That's an interesting one.
So both teams to score goals at a correct score, 1-1?
Yeah, I reckon 1-1 after full time and 2-1 Barcelona after extra time. But it's going to be gripping. It's going to be so exciting.
It's going to be a great game, and I'm sure you'll be watching on Eurosport on Ball Sports, and make sure you have a bet on it as well. But I think I like that anytime goal score for Tevez. I think that's probably the best bet for me. It's not only the big game of the weekend, there's another game as well. It's Republic of Ireland. They're in action against England in Dublin. Pretty reserve-looking England side against two managers really not taking this game very seriously, looking at some fringe players, giving them a chance. Republic of Ireland are 29-10. England are 11-10. This is probably Republic's best chance of winning. But the draw at 12-5, one that, I just can't see anything other than a draw in this one.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good to me. As you say, Republic of Ireland, for them, it's in the middle of 3 games at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. And, the last one is undoubtedly the most important. It's the qualifier against Scotland. So they're going to be similar styles of games. I think they'll be using this to limber them up for what would be a real battle, real sort of British-style battle against Scotland. But that's the one that really matters to them. They've got a chance still of qualifying for Euro 2016, so they're not going to go all in for this friendly.
And a lot of draws between these two over the years, and I think the draw here at 12-5 against two teams really looking ahead to bigger things could be the bet. One bet I always like in the friendlies is go under the bookings. I mean, there'd be 1 or 2. Yeah, this may be a little bit of a spice. But let's have a look at first goal score, and this just shows you really how important the English side are taking this. Look at this line-up. Wayne Rooney is the favourite. I don't know if he'll play. I mean, if surely he'd be in Disneyland with the kids or saying he doesn't want to be playing this game. Charlie Austin, big chance for Charlie. He's 11-2 chance. Jamie Vardy, I mean, what is all that about? 6-1. Raheem Sterling, 13-2. I'm looking for Nigel Seeley and Andy Brassell on this list if these are on the first goal scorer market. Any value there? Theo Walcott.
I like Theo Walcott a lot. Looked really sharp, of course, in the cup final and scoring goals in the Premier League. It's almost as if the season's ending at the wrong time for him, really. And Arsenal.
That's every year for Arsenal. It always ends at the wrong time. We live in a bit
that is true. But I think specifically for Theo Walcott, he's been waiting so long to play in this central striker role. And there's the feeling with Arsenal that maybe he's got the drop on Giroud. That a lot of people, of course, is not really convinced that the Frenchman is completely top class. Walcott is trying to show that he is, and of course he's batting for a new contract as well. So this matters to him.
Yeah, Theo Walcott 7-1. I like that. Scored the first goal. I don't think there's going to be many goals in this game. I think under 2.5 goals could be the bet, and probably another 1-1 draw. I wouldn't rule out a little double. 1-1 both games in 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, the most important thing I think is get your bet on, because if you've had a few pints after the Champions League final, this is quite an early kickoff.
And also make sure you know the teams. See what the team news is. See which team's taking it seriously, and then have a bet. And Ball Sports have a fantastic offer on this Republic of Ireland England game. Money back as a free bet if the Republic of Ireland score in the game. I think that's a great bet. Check out ballsports.com for promotion and full terms and conditions. Andy, what's your nap? I'll give you one bet. You've got one bet to have on Ball Sports this weekend. What's your bet on the football?
Tevez anytime. Tevez hasn't let me down this season, and I don't think he's going to on the biggest stage. He's really ready for this. And, he's a guy who, whatever you think about his loyalties, he goes 100% in every game. This is his kind of match.
Carlos Tevez, anytime goal scorer. Maybe look at him to be the man of the match as well. If Juventus win it, Tevez could be the man. Andy, thank you very much for joining us here on the Betzone. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us all season here on the Betzone. Enjoy the football, and we'll see you all next week.